guys want to get started?
That's the end of the show. Thank you.
End of the show. Boom.
Mediadawgs, they're hip and they're cool, they're nobody's fool. They know the story in your town, cause George and Pat and Lou've been around. Mediadawgs, alone in your room, you watch us on Zoom. We'll tell you where to find the fun, and the bad times will be on the run. Mediadawgs, we're watching those shows. We'll tell you what blows. We watch a lot of movies, it's true, but you know we do it all for you. Mediadawgs, 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 me like Mediadawgs. That was a bad movie. I didn't like that at all. That sucks. Oh yeah, don't watch that. Don't even know if we like it.
So let's talk about, do we have a plan? Because I would, as long as I had just was listening to the interview with Stanley Tucci. I don't know that we've ever, since I know we talked about it on the original show, I think, like Big Night and some of the stuff that he's done, but
he's fantastic.
He really is. He was talking and I didn't even realize it, but now I'm looking at his IMDb. He literally did the thing that he had done some stuff, where he stood out a little bit here and there, but Murder One. Do you remember that show, Murder One? It was a Stephen Bochco show.
Yeah, I remember that show. Yeah.
It was one of the first shows that ever did like a self-contained season, right? They did the one murder case for the whole season. And he was one of the potential suspects in it. And he did this, I just never, ever forget, like, first of all, he was great. But secondly, he had this scene in the courtroom where he did this monologue on the witness stand that was just like the most fantastic thing I'd ever seen. The thing I didn't realize, though, I was looking at the IMDb, and that all happened at the same time. Murder One, Big Night. And you remember The Day Trippers? That was another really good movie.
I heard that was a good movie. There's a Criterion edition of that out, right?
Oh, you've never seen The Day Trippers? Oh, it's great. Oh, with Hope Davis and Ann Mira is great, and Liev Schreiber and Tucci.
Okay, good.
Who? Hang on, I have it here in front of me. I want to say that Parker Posey's in it too. But
so if you get a chance, Google Colin Firth, Stanley Tucci, and Colbert, and watch the Zoom interview with the three of them. It's hilarious. It's just wonderful. It it's really wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new movie, right? What's that movie?
Supernova. Supernova.
Yeah, Supernova.
Right. Yeah. So the movie theaters are open again. Who's going?
Not by us.
Oh, they are by us.
Yeah, I'm not going to go for a while.
Not a chance in hell.
No.
Sorry, but
not till I get the vaccine, at least. Did you guys go on and put yourself on the website to get the vaccine?
No.
Or did you?
I did. Yeah.
You did?
You did?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? I want to go to Italy in September. Of course.
Yeah.
I want to hug my parents.
I just hope they get it. I mean, I saw something that really made me, I was just like, oh God. That I got an email from CLC the other day, and they, from the state, and the state basically said, people like us, July.
Right.
And I'm like, July? It's going to take, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I haven't been as great about safety protocol as I should be. I got to imagine that I've been exposed to this so much that I must just not have any of the pre-existing conditions that make me extra susceptible to it, because I can't imagine why I haven't at this point gotten it.
Yeah, in California, it's raging.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, it's really out of control out here. But you can see it.
You can go to church now, Lou.
Yeah,
according to the Supreme Court, you can go to church now.
I almost said thank God, but.
Well, that's it. They've taken away your freedoms, Lou.
Yeah, that's the other thing that just crushes my soul. It's like, how in the world is forcing me to wear a mask, taking away my freedom.
I don't know.
Next thing you know, they're going to make me wear pants in the convenience store.
Well, I thought about that. Maybe we should all stand up right now. See who's wearing their yoga pants.
Dude, I think I've worn my jeans like 3 times in the last year.
You know, I have to dress up for my Zoom classes, or I just don't feel like I'm actually doing it.
But you
I
don't
dress
have
just like I go to, I dress just like I go to school, like if I was at school. I tell my students to do the same thing because it'll put you in the mindset, you know?
But from here down, you don't have to.
No, I gotta go the whole thing or I know I'm faking.
The whole Monty. The whole Monty.
I put on shoes, I tie my shoes, I do everything, and I get ready to go, like I'm going to school.
Nice. Lou, do we have the copyright to use that background? Is that all right? We're not going to get sued by Louis C.K. or anybody?
For sure not Louis C.K.
Pamela Adlon?
Well, I'll cover us again by saying it's a freaking great show. It's the best show.
Tribute. This is a tribute.
It is a tribute because this show, Better Things.
Okay. I love it. But
it's amazing.
Kind of wasted on, she's wasted on This Is Us.
Oh my God.
It was like.
Yeah, This Is Us?
She recurred a couple times, as a therapist. And I remember reading how excited everybody was about it. And but that show is that show's the worst. I'm gonna say it here. I can't ever post it on Facebook because I don't want to ruffle the wrong feathers in the business I'm in. But man, that show is the worst writing.
Why do you hate it?
Because it's so what's the word? It's so deliberate, the writing, it's they make stuff up. You know how shows have a Bible, right? And sometimes there's retcon stuff, that argument I'm sure can be made a lot, but they just make stuff up to give a dramatic push, right?
Yeah.
So one of the characters, goes from being adopted and no sign of his biological parents to all of a sudden there's a biological dad in the story, but the biological mom died. Then when they run out of stories with that, oh wait, the mom didn't die.
No spoilers. Why are you giving spoilers away?
I didn't say who it was, but it's terrible writing.
No, it's Randall. So why, if you don't like it, it sounds like you watch it though.
We do, because Jen, I've talked about this before, Jen won't watch anything.
Yeah.
All these shows that we watch, she watches Better Things, but all these other shows, she just won't watch them. So we end up putting it on because we like to have time in front of the TV. And then the other thing she gets mad at is if I spend 15 minutes scrolling through Hulu to find something for us to watch. So if I put on This Is Us, then at least there's something for us to watch. But even Jen gets annoyed at it when we're watching. So basically it's hate watching, but I've hate watched other stuff.
What other shows have you hate watched? I mean, I'm interested.
The first time through, and mind you, I liked it better the second time I watched it, but I hate watched Breaking Bad. But I did recognize it was a well-made show and that the acting and the writing was all.
I don't need
really
to watch
good.
that. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I hate watched it the first time through.
Who hates it?
Who hates
No, but
it?
I liked it better because there's something that happens late in the run that started to turn me around on it a little bit.
People love that show, Lou. I wonder what.
No, I know
You're the first person I've ever met who said they hated that show. That's interesting.
but part of it is where's the bar at for it, right? It's the best show ever. It's like The Wire.
Yeah.
The Wire is the best show ever. Well, one season was really good of The Wire.
Yeah.
And those are people that I love their work, right? I was just talking about, it was funny because we're rewatching, or I'm rewatching, but Lily for the first time, Rescue Me. And
Never heard of it.
Rescue Me, the Dennis Leary show. Oh, yeah, George, you got to watch it. It's great. The firefighter.
I wish I could rewatch anything. I wish I could watch stuff. I wish I had time.
But Rescue Me is awesome. But one of the people that recurs on it is Dean Winters. Do you know who Dean Winters is?
Know that name. Let me
He's
look it
really
up.
famous now for playing the Mayhem guy in those Allstate commercials.
Oh yeah, he was so funny on 30 Rock.
Yeah, right. He was on 30 Rock as well. So anyways, he just recurs on Rescue Me, but he's Lily's favorite on the show. So now she wants to watch Oz, which he was on Oz. And I tried watching Oz one time, but I couldn't get through it. But so we'll go back and watch that. But again, that's another one that's by the people, sort of associated with The Wire. It's like Homicide, which we've talked a little bit about, which is the best. And then Oz and The Wire. That's all kind of the same group of people circling.
We talked about Homicide before Pat was on the show.
Oh, way back when, yeah. Oh, well, I did. Pat, did I ever tell you I wrote, I may have mentioned this because I feel like I've said this before. I took that, remember I took that screenwriting class with your friend at CLC?
Oh yeah.
And I wrote a spec script for Homicide, right? We had to we had to either do a movie script, at least the beginnings of one, or a TV spec script. And I wrote the spec script for Homicide. And at the time I wrote that, I loved that first season of NYPD Blue with David Caruso, who ended up, tanking beyond
What
belief.
happened
But
to him,
I don't know. But anyways, I wrote this whole cat and mouse story with Andre Braugher's character Pembleton and a criminal that I imagined being Caruso, right? And it turned out the script turned out pretty well. I mean, it was fun. It was cool. I'm sure it's nothing. I don't have it anymore. But
oh no, you got to keep that stuff.
Well,
You could
no,
rewrite
but you
that
know what
and turn
happened?
that
But
into-
no, but it was like I had to take a match to it because I literally, honest to God, I finished the script. I think I got an A on it. It was really cool. And then like the next weekend, the movie Seven came out. And George, I'm going to stop you here. It's two. If you haven't seen Seven not by now, then screw the spoilers. Too bad.
What, the head in the box?
My ending to the Homicide
The head in
episode
the box.
was the same as Seven. It was the same ending. I had this cat and mouse game with the two of them, and then at the end, they don't catch the bad guy because he's killed himself before they catch him, but he left them a video that leads them to the fact that he's already killed Pembleton's wife. You remember she used to recur on the show. So he's actually killed Pembleton's wife before they get to him. Just like in Seven, I was just like, are you kidding me? Cat and mouse game. The wife gets killed before,
Yeah.
You got ripped off, Lou.
Yeah.
What happened to David Caruso though, that at some point he mistook acting for wearing sunglasses?
Oh, it's amazing.
It's just
He was,
he was stiff as a board, and just about how he looks in the sunglasses. Was it all ego? Was he just consumed by ego? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure, because that's why he, left NYPD Blue. He was hard to work with, and then he wanted to be a movie star, and then he did a couple of movies that tanked, and then he did that just awful performance on CSI Miami. I don't get it. But he was great. I mean, I've recently rewatched NYPD Blue, and he really was great.
It's a good show. That was a good show.
But ultimately, that's Dennis Franz's baby. He was so good, so good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So what
Shout out
about
to Hill Street Blues that kind of started all that?
Yeah, exactly. I rewatched Hill Street. It's funny. I watched NYPD Blue first, and then I rewatched Hill Street, which was actually Hill Street played out exactly like I remember, where it's so good you can't believe it, and then all of a sudden, like in the 6th season, it's just like, what happened? Something changed. I don't know. It wasn't as good, and then thank God again, Dennis Franz shows up as a series regular, and when he shows up, he revitalized Hill Street at the end of the run.
He's good.
And that's exactly how I remember it from the first time.
I didn't watch it that far. I didn't watch it that long. You know.
Wasn't that guy Travanti, right?
Yeah, Daniel J. Travante.
He from Kenosha, right?
Oh, really?
That sounds right. That does sound
Pretty sure,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got Ruffalo, we got Giovanni, all the good great Italians.
You know, it's my go-to.
Ruffalo's from Kenosha?
Oh yeah. Have you ever gone to Kenosha? I mean, you're on Sheridan Road, just over the state line. There's Ruffalos everywhere in Kenosha. I had one when I
Really?
student taught in my class.
And this ties in the Ruffalo. This is why I'm bringing it up. But you know, it's become like a go-to for me. Like if I can't find something to watch or I'm too lazy to look, is I've been watching reruns of Columbo, which it's really great. Peter Falk's so great. But the reason I bring it up is because there's always rumors that they're going to do a reboot of Columbo with Mark Ruffalo playing Columbo, which would be great. I think he'd be great as Columbo.
Quick shout out to a Ruffalo movie that I love. I just brought it up. You Can Count on Me. From
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a criminally underpraised movie, I think.
That's the one with Matthew Broderick's in that too, right?
Yeah, and of course I love the woman, Laura Linney.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great movie. That starts with the parents getting in a car crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a good movie.
I was going to mention that doing this rewatch. Amy Ryan's in that too. Doing this rewatch of Better Things that I did. Broderick does actually that's somewhat ironically. Pamela Adlon plays a therapist on This Is Us, and Broderick plays her therapist on Better Things, right? And those episodes are really good. Those scenes with them were really good. I miss the old Broderick. And it feels like old Broderick on those episodes.
Those were good. Yeah, he was good in that.
What about so just in the news is Christopher Plummer passing away.
Yeah.
Do you guys have favorite Christopher Plummer movies?
Well, I couldn't stand Sound of Music, so probably not.
I'm going to say, there's parts of Sound of Music I can't stand, and parts of it I love. And one of the things I love about it is Christopher Plummer. I think his performance in it is incredible. There's parts of that movie I just have to skip over. I can't watch. But usually anything with the kids. But I think he and Julie Andrews, I think, are just unbelievable in that movie. And he hated the movie. He made fun of it the whole time. It was a real. He apologized to Julie Andrews afterward because he was just kind of a dick through the whole process. But
it's funny that he's so good in that, and he doesn't even sing in it. Like that's somebody else singing Edelweiss. And yet he's so good in that. Gosh, if that's your beginning and end for him, then
there's so much more. I know there's so much more. That's not my beginning and end. I mean, I love
the one I brought up was The Silent Partner. Like if you haven't seen The Silent Partner, that movie.
I just remember that so long ago, but he was good pretty much everything. To me, he was kind of like a Claude Rains in that, whatever movie he was in, he instantly kind of made it better just by being in it,
Silent Partner. Can I ask, is that the one with that Canadian film, right?
Yeah, with Elliot Gould.
I saw that when I was a teenager.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I want to rewatch it. That's my rewatch.
It was just on Turner Classics.
Yeah, I'm so mad I didn't. I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna watch it, and then I was hoping that it was there last night and it was gone. So,
I'm not the biggest theater person, but I really like it when you hear about like an actor just puts their stamp on a role and people say, okay, that's the best. And I remember reading that Christopher Plummer's Iago was the single greatest Iago ever.
Oh, I bet playing villains, he was so good at that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to mention he hung out at Stratford a lot.
Yeah.
He used to like take over this restaurant, this snooty restaurant that my mother-in-law always used to want to go to, called Down the Street, but we called it Down the Hatch. We'd always get dragged there, but yeah, they would close it down for him,
Wow.
Yeah, and but he played Prospero recently over, like within the last 10 years, I want to say,
I
probably.
bet he's good. I heard Patrick Stewart was like the great Prospero.
Oh.
That's
I'd
what I
watch it.
heard.
That would make sense. I was talking to somebody about Christopher Plummer, and he mentioned working with his daughter Amanda, and I'm like, I always forget that Amanda was in like 3 of my favorite movies ever. She's in Garp, and she's in Fisher King, and she's in Pulp Fiction,
Yeah.
which is it's crazy to me. So I always liked her. But yeah, he's, you know, I mean, he shows up as, you know, the, you know, executive bad guy and stuff like Wolf, which I like, which again, I don't know that people love that movie, but I love it. Wolf with Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer is great. And well, and he's in, actually he's in 12 Monkeys, right? He's Brad Pitt's dad.
He's in 12 Monkeys?
Yeah, he's
Wow.
the you know, the executive guy that Brad Pitt's fighting back against, right?
Man, I wish I need to
Man.
see that movie again. Something I'll never get to do because of how my classes are set up, but I would love to teach a class where I'd have the class watch Vertigo and then
Yep.
12 Monkeys.
Yeah,
That would be a blast. That would be a
you
blast.
have to have Vertigo in your back pocket, just because I love 12 Monkeys, and it's arguably the best scene in the movie when they're at the movie theater with Vertigo playing in the background.
Yeah. It's like I wanted to teach The Searchers and then Taxi Driver, which is the classic pair, right?
Yeah,
But it'd be so cool to do Vertigo and 12 Monkeys. That 12 Monkeys is a great movie.
it
Oh,
is. I just watched
remember that.
Vertigo recently. Oh, what, George?
I don't like Vertigo that much. I'm more of a Rear Window, North by Northwest guy.
You just said exactly what I would say. While I want to teach Vertigo with that, it's by far not my favorite Hitchcock. It's probably not in my top 5 favorite Hitchcock.
I wish
Yeah.
I had I should have green screened it. Me
Dude, the first 3 times Jen and I went to San Francisco, we stayed in the Vertigo Hotel.
Is that what it's called, or?
They do now. I mean, if it's still around, at one point they changed it. It was called I forget what it had a different name. And then one time when we were going to stay there, they had changed it to the Vertigo Hotel.
I was trying to think of, I was going to make a joke about my favorite Hitchcock film, but I can't remember the name of it. It was like the last one he made.
Family Plot?
Yeah, Family Plot, right. I remember going to the Lakehurst Cineplex. They had 3 theaters. Actually, that's where I saw Silent Partner, too.
When I was there, it was bigger, but yeah, I miss Lakehurst. I miss those old theaters.
Well, yeah, when you were there, you could go anytime in the afternoon and you'd have the theater to yourself. Unfortunately for them.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I did have one of my worst experiences there, going to a midnight movie that fights broke out in. It was awful.
What was the movie?
Desperado, the sequel to El Mariachi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love El Mariachi, but man, it just got out of control, and people started throwing punches, and it was a bad movie. It was not a good movie experience. But Rear Window, though, yeah, that's the movie that I always recommend to people to start with Hitchcock, because I think that's one of his best and a really good accessible movie.
Well, I just rewatched Vertigo recently, and I like it a lot more than you guys. But I took Lily to see Rear Window in the movie theater about a year and a half, well, over a year ago, so year and a half maybe. It was playing at one of the retro theaters here. It was cool to see it in the movie theater.
Rear Window is my son's favorite too, Zach's favorite.
Dan Chapp played that at Gurnee on the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
He brought a lot of stuff to the big screen. That was really nice.
Yeah, he brought Night of the Opera. I miss him too. He was a great guy. He was a great person.
Yeah.
Great person.
I still have my Galaxy Quest hat. He hosted like a week before it came out, he hosted a screening of it. And I don't even know how I won tickets, but I went there with my parents and I got a free Galaxy Quest hat. Cap.
Yeah.
Cap.
I don't think, yeah, I think he got, yeah. It's so sad.
How good that
Died
movie
so
is.
young.
Galaxy Quest.
Dexter was awesome. That's a fun movie. That's a really
Yeah.
fun movie. I can't stand Tim Allen, but I'll watch him in that. That's a great, and I like him in Toy Story, of course, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to see him in anything else, but those two things he's great
no,
in both.
no
But,
need at all. No need at all.
Have you guys heard about this? Not really a movie, it's a filmed play called In and of Itself that just
Somebody else
premiered
told me about that.
on Hulu. Have you
Haven't
seen
watched
this?
it yet though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Other spay.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about it other than that it's pretty amazing.
What's the premise?
I don't even want to tell you, Pat.
No, you don't want to
Fine,
know.
I'll just watch it. I'll just watch it.
Just watch
Yeah,
it.
because somebody else recommended, my friend Gordon recommended that too. He has fantastic taste as well. So
I think
in and of itself.
I think Colbert bankrolled part of that.
He did. He produced it. It's funny because one of my old I kind of lost track of what he's been doing, but one of my old tour mates at Second City, I think over time, I don't know if he still does, wrote for Colbert's, old show, and then he probably writes for the new show. But he's one of there's just like two executive producers besides Colbert, but he's one of the producers on In and of Itself as well. So it was cool to see. His name's Tom Purcell. To see Tommy's name on there too.
I was happy to see that one of my favorite shows last year was nominated for a Golden Globe, Ted Lasso.
Oh,
Still
you know
haven't-
what? We haven't talked since I watched it. We watched Ted Lasso. Yeah.
What do you
My
think?
God. Oh my God, Pat. Oh, George. Yeah. I know your time is tough, but holy cow.
Boy, it just makes me feel good. It scratches that Parks and Rec itch.
Yeah. And I'll be honest. I was about 2 or 3 episodes in, and I was like, "What? Really?" Because everybody and their brother was like, "This is the best thing ever."
Yeah.
And then about the 3rd or 4th episode, you're like, "Oh my God, it is the best thing ever."
By the time you get to the Diamond Dogs, it's the
Yeah.
Diamond Dogs. I was like, okay, I love this show so much. There's something just so positive about it. I just kind of need
Yeah.
that right now. I know it's not the greatest show ever, but
No.
there's just something so positive about it. And I just, man, lately I need that. I need that. I need somebody who has a positive view of human nature for a little while,
Yeah.
because I
No,
don't right now.
I really, really thoroughly, we loved it. We, we
good.
blew through it. All of us watched it. It was so good.
I have a movie that you guys recommended queued up to watch, Local Hero, so I'll get to that soon.
Oh yeah. Actually, I should watch that again myself.
I also wanted to recommend something that that I think I mentioned earlier is Pen 15 on.
I
you can
love
watch
it.
on Hulu. Isn't that great?
Love it.
Have you got to the end of the second season?
Not yet.
Oh my God.
I think
My son
Heather
was
might
like, oh, sorry, go ahead, George.
I'm thinking Heather might like it, so I kind of stopped in anticipation of down the road starting it over. I love Pen 15.
Oh, it's so good. And my son was like, you got to watch this and get ready for the last 2 episodes of the second season. And I was like, okay. So we got to it. And then Tress and I were just like, that was amazing. The last 2 episodes. Amazing. I won't say anything about it. It's just, but as a theater geek, George, your mind's just going to go, for like what they say about like middle school theater productions. It's so great. But it's heartfelt too at the same time.
It's funny you mentioned that because the first time I saw The Sound of Music was a middle school production, and they were great. It was great. And then the second time I saw it was at Stratford, and it was fantastic. And then I saw the movie, and I was like, wah, wah. It was a big
What
disappointment.
did you like about the movie? What kind of kills you about the movie?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it again, which I'm not going to do. I just thought it was, when you're watching something and you're like, I could have cut this better. I could have edited this better. And I don't know, it was stilty. I don't really know any other word than stilty. It was stilty.
Got it.
Lou, I'm bummed that I can see them all except for the one daughter.
Well, it depends where
We're gonna
I
have to
move.
go back and forth.
Usually I'm like this, so we lose Duke, but
Oh,
Well, Duke's
yeah, I
my
like Duke.
favorite. So Duke and Frankie are my favorites.
Yeah, Duke and Frankie are my favorites too. Although
Yeah.
sometimes I want to, Frankie, I just want to go home again. But
Yeah.
I love both of them so much. The older daughter's name is
They're all like
Max.
guys' nicknames.
Max.
Right.
Max is
Duke, and
incredible,
Frankie.
incredible character because I just can't stand her and then I just love her. You know,
Yeah.
but I think that's, that's teenagers. They're so good at like presenting teenagers in that way. From an adult's perspective, I think it's amazing.
Lou, did you see Pen 15?
We watched I have to go the Ted Lasso thing on here. We watched like the first episode and it didn't resonate, but since it usually takes 2 or 3 episodes for me to get something, so we'll go back to it. But I didn't think it was bad. I just was like,
Well, just in case there's anybody watching this, it's grown women playing.
Yeah.
How old are they? Like 13 or 12?
Yeah, they're like 8th grade.
Yeah, and what makes
Yeah.
it really great is all the rest of the kids are all played by kids.
yeah,
Yeah. I'll just say this. There's a moment when one of the characters has to act like she's older. And I literally, for a moment, thought, boy, she's doing a good job acting like she's older. And then I had to go, no, this is a woman acting as a girl who's acting as a woman. I was like, oh my God, I just completely forgot she was a girl, that she was a grown woman for a moment, The acting is so good in that. The woman who plays one of the characters, Zach loves the show, so he recommended a romantic comedy called Plus One. And it's a very standard romantic comedy. I think I mentioned it before. I won't say it again. Very standard romantic comedy, except she is great. She's like,
It's Netflix, right?
yeah. And the guy who plays opposite her is Meg Ryan and Quaid's son, and he's good too. He's good too in it. But it's a pretty standard movie. It's nothing like special. It's just a pretty standard romantic comedy. But there's been a lot of, decent romantic comedies out like on Netflix and stuff that I thought, okay, that was pretty good. That
Palm
was okay.
Springs was good. Did we ever talk
Palm
about
Springs
that?
was great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the it's sort of a romantic comedy, but Feast of the Seven Fishes? Have you seen that?
No, I've never heard of it.
Is it Italian?
It's with no, well, it's an Italian family, but it's like Joey Pants is in it, playing an uncle. Ben Paul Victor's the grandpa, but the kid is the kid from. Do you ever see Santa Clarita Diet?
Tressa watched some of it.
Hang on one second. Let me find the kid here.
Is that the one where the cannibalism? Is that?
Yeah. Well, they're zombie. She's a zombie. Drew Barrymore's a zombie.
Well, don't zombies eat people? Oh, so
Yeah,
I guess it wouldn't be cannibalism because zombies eating people. It would be if zombies ate zombies.
Right.
That would be cannibalism.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
This kid was he was in we've talked about The Righteous Gemstones. That was really good, but he was in that. The kid was in that. He was in Booksmart. He played Jared in Booksmart. He's really good. But Feast of the Seven Fishes is totally just about him being interested in some girl and kind of, bringing her into the family, which is very traditional. There you go. Booksmart.
Just to save me some time later.
But I really liked it. But I was going to mention it there's another small indie guy that I discovered, I think, since last time we talked, which is this guy, Jim Cummings, who's done 2 movies that are both really, really good. His first one was called Thunder Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Bruce Springsteen Thunder Road. Have you seen that?
No, but I know about this guy. I saw his second movie that he did.
Yeah, The Wolf of Snow Hollow, which I loved as well. Did you
really liked it, but it drove Tressa crazy. She I don't like it. Because he's doing something that is cool, that he's really not a likable character at moments.
Yep.
And she finally got to the point where I don't care if he lives or dies. I was like, okay, it's just not working. I liked it.
I was actually surprised that Jen liked both of them as well, because he's so unlikable, but it's just so like, no budget. I mean, the other thing though in Wolf of Snow Hollow is it's Robert Forster's last performance. I don't even know how he got Forster in there because he doesn't have anybody that in either movie.
But I liked Wolf of Snow Hollow. I really did like it.
Yeah, you should watch Thunder Road too. I mean, it's he's playing the same character whatever he does, but God, it's so cringy and great and funny.
Tress and I were on a kick where we wanted to watch some great Chinese martial art kind of wushu films, like sword fighting films. And the one we watched that I just want to recommend really strongly. It's on Netflix and it's called Shadow by Zhang Yimou. Zhang Yimou, I think I'm saying that name right. He's a great director. He's made a ton of movies, but man, this is good. It's the premise is that this ruler has, and during the dynasty eras in China, has he's sick, and he can't project weakness, so he has a body double that he's had since he was a kid, and the body double is in his place as the ruler, and he's kind of pulling the strings. That's his shadow, and he's pulling the strings from behind the curtain. And it just has great action sequences, like fantastic, amazing stuff. And we were really into the storyline. So Shadow, I want to really highly recommend Shadow on Netflix.
Cool.
Look at the trailer. We watched the trailer. We're like, oh shit, we got to watch this. Beautifully shot film too. Beautifully shot.
Yeah, I just pulled that up.
We also watched one that isn't as enjoyable, but I thought it was a great movie called The Assassin. But it's have you seen that?
No.
You just saved George time editing. He can use them.
Oh, you got to edit that out. Sorry, can't show that.
Google resizing and reshaping time. So thanks.
I can't show that. I can't.
No, you can't show it. It saves George time because he doesn't have to find the image and put it up there.
Have not seen it.
This is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen in terms of cinematography, but it's also, if I can just put it this way, it's a film about characters who cannot get their desire. And it's about what do you do when you can't get that desire. So the movie replicates that by not giving you what you want, right? So it says, the plot line, I had to stop the movie and get on the internet and look up a plot summary because I was like, I have no idea what's going on. It's on purpose. And the fight scenes are shot in ways that often aren't enjoyable. Like he'll do a fight scene from a long shot so you can barely see what's happening. But then there's all these other pleasures in the movie. It's almost like he's trying to say, stop looking at the normal things and start looking elsewhere for beauty, So I don't know. Watch it if you want something more artsy. And I read a plot summary.
Maybe challenging could be a word for it.
Challenging.
There you go.
Reward.
But Shadow is just like, yeah, right there. Shadow's fun, enjoyable movie.
Cool.
Sorry, those are my picks for now.
Cool. Are we doing picks?
I don't know.
Sure.
I just want to throw those in there.
I did Feast of the Seven Fishes and the Cummings movies. Go ahead, George.
Does the Feast of the Seven Fishes take place in Italy, like southern Italy?
No.
Okay.
But actually, sorry, it reminds me though. Hang on, because I got to find the name of the. I'm having so much trouble with remembering names. Like I kept forgetting Feast of the Seven Fishes because it doesn't make sense to me. But the other one,
like
Joey
film Feast of the Seven Dwarfs. Actually,
there you go. Joey Pants has another movie called From the Vine, and that movie takes place in Italy, and that's a really good little movie as well.
Is it about a vineyard?
There you go.
So, okay. Well, I got some picks. I just finished. What was it? The third or fourth? I don't even know. The Expanse, which is incredible.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that.
Incredible show. I love it. Absolutely adore it. And then And it's not it's, what is it? Space, science fiction, whatever.
Hard sci-fi, not fantasy sci-fi, hard sci-fi, right?
Yeah. And now that it's on, Prime, they can say so. And then The Good Lord Bird.
Oh yeah, how's that? I've heard a lot about that.
I love it. I love it. It's about John Brown. And obviously, I haven't read the book, but there's a character named Onion that after a while you get, well, actually not even after a while, you start to understand that all the white people in the film, it's a male character who's dressed as a female. And like all the black people in the film see him, unless, well, the closer to being a slave that they are, and I shouldn't even mention this because it's not even a, like they understand that he's a male in a dress and but like, oh, what's the guy's name? Frederick Douglass kind of doesn't. Anyway, John Brown obviously doesn't. He thinks, but it's a Ethan Hawke thing, and it's on Showtime. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was like 7 episodes, I think.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. It's 7 episodes.
In fact, we got Showtime so we could get that. Every now and then we'll go back to Showtime, and but we haven't had time for anything else on Showtime. There's a thing with Bryan Cranston that looks like it could be good.
Oh yeah, The Judge. I think it's called
yeah.
The Judge or something like that.
Oh, is that what it's called? He plays a judge.
Or plays a judge. I don't know. I thought it was. Yeah, I was actually going to ask you guys if you've because I'm literally going to get rid of Hulu Live tomorrow, which is so expensive. But after the Super Bowl, I'm getting rid of it, and then I'm going to add HBO Max and Disney.
I've liked HBO Max.
Do you guys have Disney Plus?
I have Disney Plus.
Have you watched The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Is it any good?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like a dessert. I don't know if it's the greatest. It's not like I have to say it's not a show that sticks with me, but I enjoy watching it very, very much. And I think it's gonna have one incredible effect that we're gonna see, influence that we're gonna see from now on, is that it's introducing an advance in special effects that's gonna make sci-fi, fantasy, superhero stuff much cheaper to make.
Is it better than Star Wars?
If I had a choice between watching the new Star Wars films or Mandalorian, I would watch Mandalorian.
Yeah, let's put it this way. This is coming from somebody who doesn't like Star Wars. Except Rogue One. I think Rogue One is a great film.
I love Rogue One. That's a good film.
And
that's a good movie.
Even the ones from when I was a teenager can go, they're so bad. The acting's horrible. The writing's awful. I must have been a high teenager when I went to the theater to see those. And
I'll stand by Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, no, I think The Empire Strikes Back is one of the best movies ever.
You know what my friend John Tenuto told me though?
No.
You know, he's like a massive. Huh?
Tenuta?
Tenuto.
Oh, okay. Tenuta's another Kenosha Italian name.
Oh no, John Tenuto is, and his wife too, Maria John is I think I've said this before, a nationally recognized expert on Star Wars and Star Trek. He's Paramount's official Star Trek scholar.
I love Star Trek.
That's cool.
But he told me that after Empire Strikes Back came out, all the reviews said, well, this is a good movie. Unlike Star Wars, there's a real director here. And the dialogue is so much better, the script is so much better, and the directing is so much better that, you know, this is good. This is good. That Lucas went through the roof and he said, I'm going to direct the next one. And that's when it could have been great if Lucas hadn't had such a big ego. And then because I'm not a fan of Return of the Jedi. I think it's a disappointment.
Well, Return of the Jedi's, I would argue it's half of it's a really good movie. The other half is,
yeah,
and then that leaves you with that it wasn't a good movie. I get that, but it does start out pretty well. But yeah, if I only could see one ever again, it would just be Empire for sure. But I was thinking about that too. I'm like, everybody talks about George screwing the pooch with the prequels, and story-wise, it was actually probably fine because it was what he was stuck with, but it's just the dialogue and the acting and stuff. Well, there's the acting, George, terrible.
No!
I will admit that they were even worse than the first three. And the last three, well, I bought the first three to watch before the last three, and I was like, wow, I'm such a different person now because
no, but when the first J.J. Abrams one came out, I bought into it. I really did. I enjoyed the nostalgia of it and so forth. But after the three of them, I'm like, they didn't know what they were doing at all. It's the whole thing should have been a nostalgia fest or do something really creative, I guess, because trying to straddle that.
They should have gone the second route. They should have gone creative.
Yeah, because they straddled it, and it ended up zeros on both sides because the nostalgia part was awful, handled terribly, and the new stuff was handled terribly.
I will say this, I'm a huge fan of Adam Driver in those movies. I'm a huge fan of Adam Driver, but I think he's part of the movie that's the best. He's the best parts of those movies, I think.
I like him in Jen Oliver's show.
Yeah, he's so funny there, right?
I agree.
I thought the first one, I don't know if we talked about this before, but I thought the first J.J. Abrams one, what was it called?
The Hope Arises.
Force Awakens. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it had real potential.
Yep.
And then I thought Last Jedi, there were some big problems with that movie, big problems, but it had the stuff they were doing new and different. I thought, I like this. And then with that last movie, Rise of the Skywalker, it's like they just decided, oh crap, what did Rian Johnson do to this? Let's erase everything. And it's like, it's awful. I would never watch, although there is one great moment in Rise of the Skywalker, but I would never watch that movie again.
So I don't care for Star Wars. Will I like Mandalorian?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Do you like Westerns? Do you like Westerns?
Not really. Only when they do something different. When there's a twist, like, I don't know, what was that one with Kevin Kline or
Silverado?
Silverado, yeah.
Yeah, I like Westerns, but how did you feel about, because I always say that Logan was like a great Western. Did you like Logan?
Good connection.
Is that the one with the
Wolverine?
Yeah, I don't really remember it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
If you like movies where tough, grizzled men find an infant and then it awakens something good inside them, and they have to kind of put their ideals to the test to like. Well, if you think about ever seen a movie called Three Godfathers?
I have not, but
there's a couple different versions of it. Yeah, but it's like Three Godfathers. Yeah.
What about? Have you been watching WandaVision?
I love WandaVision.
Isn't it on Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get that yet.
I get a lot.
Well, I got it for Hamilton since I didn't have time or couldn't afford to see it in the theater.
Do you like WandaVision?
No, but it's like I said, I'm going to get Disney Plus like next week. So
I hear it's great.
It is good, especially when you get to episode 3 or 4. Episode 4, it just went. I was like, oh, okay, I'm in. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and especially since the first episode is a loving tribute to the Dick Van Dyke Show, and the second episode is an equally loving tribute to Bewitched, 2 of my favorite shows ever. And I was just like, that's great. And then the third one is a Brady Bunch. But that's when things start to go bad, which I hate the Brady Bunch show, so I kind of liked it, that episode as well, because that's when things really start to sour, So I don't hate Brady Bunch. I just remember as a kid watching it more out of like some kind of sense of there is nothing else on, rather than.
I know.
Yeah, no, I watched all those Brady Bunches over and over again, and it's never resonated with me as like a childhood favorite. You know what I mean? It's just something that we watched.
I was a big Partridge Family kid.
I like the Partridge Family.
Good music.
When I go back to those years, though, for me it was Get Smart, and then oddly enough, if we're looking at a family show, probably My Three Sons. I loved My Three Sons.
That show depressed me. I watched it, but it depressed me. I don't know why.
I don't know why I was drawn to that one, but I loved it.
Probably because of
I
Cousin
loved
Ernest.
Bewitched, but not I Dream of Jeannie. I did not like I Dream of Jeannie.
It was great to see Uncle Arthur show up like in a
Oh,
a pot on the stove or something, when she opens the. Never mind. I liked Uncle Arthur.
Do you
I
know
like-
that?
No,
What?
Do you know that in My Three Sons, they interviewed one of the kids and they said, was Fred McMurray like a father figure to you? And he said, I literally almost never saw Fred McMurray.
yeah, no. I was going to tell you, he shot 2 weeks, like 2 weeks, I think, at the beginning of the season and 2 weeks at the end. And
Then
then
they had a
they
mock.
would shoot, they would shoot all of his stuff in like 4 weeks total and then edit it together over the season.
Yeah.
Oh, I've always felt Uncle Charlie was the father in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
William Demarest.
William Demarest.
Win. But
There were
yeah,
shows, you know what, My Three Sons, Family Affair.
Yep.
There was this kind of category of shows that I would watch that I didn't like, but I just like Brady Bunch. I just felt like I had to watch them for some reason. I don't know why. I couldn't watch Gilligan's Island because as a kid, I literally thought something was wrong with Gilligan.
No, I would.
Something was wrong with Gilligan.
I
Okay.
love Gilligan. Gilligan was probably my favorite. Well, not my favorite because I always was partial to Get Smart, but I loved Gilligan's Island when I was a kid.
So, if we're talking about that era, my favorites, and they all encompassed the same world, because every now and then a character would like fly his plane over to Petticoat Junction. It was Petticoat Junction, Beverly Hillbillies, which used to freak me out because I was young enough to understand that woman was making possum pies and they were eating them.
I didn't.
But I wasn't
I used to
old enough.
love Petticoat Junction.
Right, and Petticoat Junction,
Yeah.
and the three of them. And just Green Acres used to make me laugh my head off.
I
don't
never
know
loved
what
Green
Acres
Acres,
a lot.
but it's funny because I have my brother-in-law is named Joe. So every single time I say the name Joe, I want to say, "Here comes Uncle Joe, moving kind of slow at the junction."
Yeah.
There's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of. There's Uncle Joe. Believe me, I know these themes.
But I'm just like always that theme. But actually that
Can I just say, lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
yeah.
I will admit that Petticoat Junction was all three of those girls was an early crush. I had crushes.
Yeah. Well, here's my I had a crush. It's funny. I was listening to the theme to this song very recently, thinking I am the only person out of 1 billion people in the entire world that would be listening to this theme song in this moment. And then shortly after, I saw somebody post on Twitter or something about the show. I was like, what? There are other people that love this show? Do you remember The Nanny? Nanny and the Professor?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I loved it. I loved Juliette Mills. That was a crush for me.
Talk
about
about
the-
great themes.
Yeah.
Harry Nilsson, Courtship of Eddie's Father.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that movie, that TV show. I never saw the movie. I like that TV show.
Yeah, I love that TV
Great
show
theme.
too. Yep.
The themes. And you know what? The best theme of all time that I'm always telling bands, I'm not like that guy, that they should record, especially like funky, jam kind of bands, is the theme from Maude is incredible.
Maude?
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's an incredible song.
I don't remember that.
Oh, look it up.
I don't know about if you're on Facebook much, but all of a sudden there's this category where these random video feeds come up. So they post videos. But one the other day that popped up for me was from the Howard Stern show. And they were literally, that's what they were talking about, was what's the best theme song ever. And I can't remember the whole list of ones that they brought up, but the one they settled on was the Jeffersons, which to some extent is true as well. It's a great theme.
I've never listened to his show, but that's a pretty good theme.
You know what I think is the most underrated theme of that era? Underrated. Kolchak the Night Stalker.
I don't remember the
Well,
theme, but
that's
that was a
interesting. I
great
do
show.
remember that. Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
look up the theme
That's
song.
a
Look
good
up the
theme.
opening credits theme song. I actually, you can't really find it, so I have a DVD of it, and I ripped the theme song so I could play it around Halloween in my Halloween mix. I can send it to you if you want. But
Yeah.
boy, that's a great theme song. I don't know what I would pick as the greatest single theme song. I think I'd have to divide it up into categories like comedy, and other ones, because they do different things,
It
Uh,
depends on the mood that I'm in, because again, the ones I've mentioned, like Nanny and that you mentioned, Courtship of Eddie's Father, that Nielsen song, that's great.
I didn't know he wrote that. That's crazy.
The uh, again, I usually gravitate back towards that era. There are people that do, like, I love listening to orchestras play both themes from Lost in Space, from Bewitched, from My Dream of Jeannie. Those are great. But one that I always, when I hear it, I'm always kind of like, in a way, it might be my favorite, is the theme from The Sopranos. I love the theme from The
Yeah.
Sopranos.
I don't remember
Yeah.
that either. But I could sing both Lost in Space episode themes.
Themes.
I
Speaking of
wish I
that,
had,
Go ahead.
oh,
do you add lyrics to them? We are lost in space now. Dun, dun, dun.
we do actually, yeah. And then Lost in Space. They're lost. There's no Lost in Space.
I love Lost Space theme. Okay, another great one, Rockford Files.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Dun, 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 dun. That's a great one.
Yeah, it's got to
Seth
start
Meyers,
it starting with the whatever the message on the answering machine
yeah.
comes in. It's great.
Seth Meyers did a whole thing where he said, if you take the Rockford Files theme, if you film yourself during the day doing the most boring stuff that you have to do for your job, and then put the Rockford Files theme on top of it, it'll look cool.
That's
And he did the thing where he's just like going like this, and he's like eating and it works. It totally works.
Our two viewers just went, maybe now is a good time to add that right here in the show.
when I'm getting ready for the show and doing my vocal exercises, it's Rockford Files theme. Rockford Files theme.
Yeah, I couldn't say it a minute ago.
Theme.
Rockford Files.
Theme.
Rockford
Files theme.
Yeah,
Anyway.
those are good themes. But
So,
yeah, Sopranos, that's a good modern one. That's definitely a good modern theme.
so Turner Classics has been on Friday night for a while now. They put cult films and odd films that you might not ever see and you probably never saw to begin with. And I got one recently and I'm about halfway through it and it's really bad, but I can't turn away. It's called Pipe Dreams. And Gladys Knight plays this woman who goes up to Alaska to get her man back.
Wow.
And I can't wait to finish this one because it's really bad. So I'm noticing that Classics seems to be infused with a bunch of new stuff and they're not afraid to repeat stuff sooner than like a year from now, which I'm kind of liking. And I'm wondering if it's that HBO cache, because I see that they've got a category on HBO Max. But
Yes, that's one reason I like HBO Max is I cut cable, so I can't get TCM, but I can get it through there.
Okay.
Yeah. Between that and the Criterion channel, I get a lot of the older films I want to see.
And I'm watching a show called Raised by Wolves, which I'm okay with, but we had to stop watching it because our male dog, there's a sound on that he just goes nuts. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to finish it. It's like a futuristic science fiction off-world kind of.
Yeah, Ridley
Kind of
Scott's
show.
producing it, right?
Yeah. Which sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not so great, in my opinion.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
And then there's something else that I'm watching on that. Oh, I watch a lot of HBO shows. I thought Euphoria was great. And then there's We Are Who We Are was kind of a great with a really good soundtrack. That's all.
What's that one?
It takes place like about 5 years ago, I think. Is it 5 years ago? I think it's when not this election, but the 2016. I think it's it's is it Chloe Savini plays like she comes in as the head of this army base or this military base that's outside of Venice, Italy, and her kid's kind of whack. And then, you know, as it goes on, it's all about mainly the kids, but you find out that, you know, the kids are a little more with it than the adults are at this place. But it's just kind of all over the place. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. But they're both those shows deal with I guess I'd say gender identity. Pretty. I wouldn't say they hit you over the head with it, but it's right there in front of you, and it's very interesting, and it's really, I think they're both done pretty well. Euphoria and We Are Who We Are.
I know that the AV Club gives Who We Are like really high scores.
Really? What's the AV Club? I
Oh,
mean,
the AV Club, it's the website that it used to be. You know, The Onion.
Yeah.
Well, they were writing reviews that were like kind of serious, and so they started the AV Club years ago, and it's one of my go-to places for reviews. They switched formats, and I don't think it's as good. Maybe it's not as good as it used to be, but they and they stopped. They used to be one of the places I'd go to for comic book reviews. Their comic book reviews are great, but they don't do as many as anymore. But their film and TV and music reviews, I think, are very good.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, and they do some fun stuff too, but a lot of it's like just serious reviews. But they gave that show. I remember seeing. I was, wow, they're giving that like A's. They almost never give A's for TV stuff.
So I got one for you. I'm watching this show. We're both watching this show called The Watch, and I'm kind of loving it. Based on characters by Terry Pratchett, which is like, huh? And then
oh yeah,
it's not over
yet. This is
yet.
a Ringworld thing, right? This is a Ringworld.
I still like it, and I don't really know much about any of that. And I looked at there was something I wanted to look up about it. I can't even tell you what it was. And like Rotten Tomatoes, it was like 54. I was like, oh no, everybody hates this. So there won't be another season of that. But I don't know. For some reason, I kind of like it. Kind of addicted.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I heard people saying, I like it. Why does it get such bad reviews? I read that somewhere. Really? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at it on IMDb right now, and it's not a good sign that it's at 4.8.
Yeah. It's really weird, but I like it a lot. And you know, they advertise it as like kind of like Monty Python, and it's like, no, it's not like Monty Python at all. And I almost didn't start it because it seems more like a Guardians of the Galaxy thing or something, you know. But it's really not like that either. I don't know. I liked it though. I kind of liked it.
I see that Wendell Pierce is in the cast. He's great. I love him.
I think part of it might be that that is such. I've never read those books, but that is such a beloved
kind of
series.
The snobbery of the fans.
Yeah, that if they're because I remember for decades I've heard people go Ringworld, Ringworld, Ringworld. Just I have a friend who says that's the greatest sci-fi fantasy series ever written. They'll say things like that. So maybe it's just like it's not matching up to their, I'm sure, very high expectations.
Yeah. I mean, I like it so much I'm watching it with commercials. I mean, I'm fast forwarding to them, but
right.
By the way, that Bryan Cranston show is called Your Honor.
Oh,
Your
okay.
Honor.
Judge, Your Honor. You rest your case.
We tried a show last night called Resident Alien.
Okay.
I saw that advertised on Hulu. Yeah, what is that?
Right. It is. It's predictable in some ways, but it's also a little. I don't know if I buy all the characters, like how they're interacting so quickly and people come together so quickly, like in the first pilot. But I love what's his name? Who's the main character? He was in Firefly.
Nathan Fillion or
no, he was the pilot in Firefly. He's a great voice.
Oh, yeah, I like that guy a lot too.
Let me look him up.
Adam Baldwin
killed him off in the movie.
Where is he?
Spoilers.
Alan Tudyk.
Oh, Alan Tudyk. Oh yeah.
Man, it's a great performance by him. And I think he is just I think he is just fantastic anyway. But it's a great performance by him. I just think the show needs to be a little smarter around him.
He's got that fun movie. I'm looking it up right now because I never remember the name.
Okay, what'd you think of the newest, the actual Godzilla, not the second one with Ghidorah, but hold on.
The first American Godzilla they did. Oh,
This one.
okay. Is that the one with King Ghidorah or no?
No, it's
I
the first one, which I loved it, but the second one,
I
with
liked
King
it.
Ghidorah, it wasn't so.
I
There's a
liked
third
it.
one. They're doing a Kong.
I've got my fingers crossed because I really enjoyed the first one, and then
Yeah.
the second one was laughably bad.
Yeah.
I mean, racist. I
Yeah,
mean, there's all this
horrible.
there's all this like Asian, like here, are you gonna use chopsticks? I mean, just like weird resentment toward the Japanese in that movie. But I'm a huge Kong fan, and I like the trailer, but I like the trailer for the second one too.
Yeah.
Oh, by the
So-
way, I forgot Alan Tudyk does the voice of the robot in Rogue One. He's so good in that movie. But
Oh,
George, I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, George?
No, Lou was gonna. I just
Tucker-
interjected. Lou was looking something up.
Yeah, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Have you seen
Oh yeah,
that?
that's a fun movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
that's a fun movie. He's
Tucker
the
and
voice of the
Dale versus
chicken.
Evil.
What's
You
it
know
on?
that Disney film Moana?
Yeah.
Moana.
He's the voice of the chicken. He's just the chicken. It's amazing.
And just for those at home who are keeping count, we're in the middle of the 7th season now of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, I need to catch up. I'm
It
a
just
little
gets
I'm a
better
few
and better. And
behind.
then I just heard that one of the guys that was so instrumental in that show died recently.
No, really? Oh, I read that too.
I mean, it was like something out of, I mean, if you read it, you'd be like, well, that sounds like something from Bob's Burgers. It was a what do you call it when you jump out of the plane? It was a skydiving accident or something.
The
It's
skydiving.
like, wow. I'm not even caught
Resident
up.
Alien got really good reviews.
Yeah, I think it's worth watching. Yeah, Dave Creek, lead character designer, died following a skydiving accident.
So are you watching that? Is it the True North, or it's supposed to be the same producers as Bob's Burgers? Okay, I set the DVR to.
Is that the one about Central Park?
No, it's about Alaska, I think, and it sounds like it's what's his face, Ron Johnson from can't even think of his name, Megan Mullally's husband. His voice, it sounds like, because who else?
No, it's an animated series.
You're right.
Yeah.
It is Ron Swanson. What's his name? Nick
Was it
Offerman.
Johnson? Oh, that's Johnson. That's that jerk from Wisconsin. Ooh,
Yeah, Nick Offerman.
right. I don't want to get in the Offerman. Thanks. Don't get into politics, but ugh. What a loser that guy is.
Who?
Ron Johnson, the senator. I can't remember. He's a
The
senator.
senator.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Ooh.
I did try to watch The Great North. I'll have to take a look at that. I did try to watch the one that they're doing in Central Park, and it's all musical. And I liked it, but Teresa didn't, so we didn't watch more of it. But I'm going to go back and watch it again.
What's that on? Because I wanted to catch that.
I think that's on Apple TV.
Okay. So
Sorry, I subscribe to like all of them.
Can
It's
I
my
get
one
Apple TV?
indulgence.
Yeah. Can I get Apple TV if I've got a Prime box?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
Oh yeah. I've got Apple. I've got a Fire Stick and I've got
yeah.
Apple TV on there.
Apple TV is worth it. I mean, you get Ted Lasso.
Okay.
And there's a couple other shows that look good on it. I got it because I wanted CBS to watch the Star Trek stuff.
Yes.
And I was able to get a deal where I got CBS and Apple TV. I was already paying for CBS. So then by combining them, I got Apple TV for just a little bit more.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think Apple TV, especially for the setup I had already, which was Hulu and Prime, is completely worthless except for Ted Lasso, which now
Well,
I'm
you know,
done with. But
I
the only
read-
reason I have it for free for a year because we got new iPhones and you get a free year of Apple TV with it.
they did a study and found that 20 to 25% of all Apple TV viewers got it to watch Ted Lasso.
That makes sense. I mean, there's nothing else on there. They had On the Rocks. We watched that. The Bill Murray and Rashida Jones
Like I said,
movie.
I use it to watch CBS, the CBS shows, because I want to watch the Star Trek shows, even though I've been iffy on those. And there's a TV show, I think we mentioned it before, called The Unicorn, which I like, even though it's really very
know what?
traditional.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just watched this week's last night. I was like, it's so good. I watch it mostly. Goggins is okay, but I'm not crazy about his character, and I usually like him a lot. But boy, Michaela Watkins and Rob Corddry. Oh my God, I wish there was
George,
a show
yes.
about them. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're both incredible actors
Yeah.
who have not gotten their due, especially
Oh, I
Watkins.
know. What was the name
And
of
they
that?
are hitting it out of the park. They're hitting
Yeah.
it out of the park in that show.
Yeah.
It's like a traditional CBS situation comedy, except for these great actors.
Right. I was saying to Heather, I'll bet just to be on the set of that show, they must just be laughing all the time.
Yeah, and the other couple's really funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Groggins isn't I mean, I like him. I think he's a great actor, but I actually watch it more for the people around him than I do. And his daughters are very good.
I'm distracted by his white teeth.
I know,
They're
those
too
teeth.
white. They're
It
too
does
white.
look really-
They're crazy.
That's true. He does have super white teeth. That's very true. Yeah, but that is a good show, I think. I think it's a good show.
I love it. And
Yeah,
Mr.
Lily likes it. So,
Mr.
but I
Mayor.
haven't watched it since a while. Oh, how's Mr. Mayor? How is it?
I love it.
Mayor.
It's hilarious. Bobby Moynihan's hilarious. I love it.
Another guy I
You know what?
love.
Ted Danson is great in it.
I heard the first episode wasn't great, but then it started getting really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it from the
He was
beginning.
What is
he
it on?
was so good in The Good Place. God, I love The Good Place, and he was great.
I know
You
you,
know
guys
what?
have to watch it to the end of the first season, but I couldn't get to the end of the first show.
Oh, I love that show so much. I think that's one of the greatest shows ever on television. I really do.
I'll have to go
Definitely
back.
one of the best network shows in the last decade.
The ending. Oh, the ending. I was
Yeah.
bawling at the end. I was crying
So
my eyes
good.
out at the end.
There's
Yeah.
there's zero reason that you watch the first episode and think that they can go anywhere with the show. Where can they go, you say? And
they just
boy,
go.
they just do it. It's great.
If you can make it to the end of the first season, you might get hooked, maybe.
Yeah.
But
It's like
Again,
meeting.
the characters, Chidi is great. And
Chidi becomes my favorite as the show
he's
goes on.
amazing. He's so awesome.
Okay.
Uh,
Anybody got anything else?
This will be something just for Lou. Just so Lou will get. Lou, one of my favorite moments when Chidi says, "I saw the time knife." The way he delivers that line is just so perfect. You'll get to it. Look,
You'll get
maybe
there. Oh,
You
and
didn't
what's his face? What's the
Mr. Mayor though, Mr.
the
Mayor.
Asian guy's name? What's shoot,
Manny.
Manny?
I didn't like him at first. Then I realized
I hated him. Oh, I was like, I
me
hated
too,
him
me
so
too.
much. And then all of a sudden, at some point, it kicks in and you realize, oh, he's brilliant. He's so funny. He's so
Yeah.
funny.
When I realized he was improvising a lot of his lines, I thought, okay, there we go. There we go. You know,
Yeah, because I swear I hated him. I was like, I'm gonna watch the show. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna just zone him out. Everything will be okay. And then
Yeah.
one day I realized he is the funny. He plays Jason Mendoza, right, Manny?
Jason Mendoza.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my God.
I did watch. We did watch and enjoy Bridgerton.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
Nice soap
too.
opera.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah, good music. You're
Yeah.
right. You're dead right about that. Really good music. I didn't think about that. That's really cool use of music there. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was
Beautiful
fun.
people who are so beautiful. It made my eyes kind of hurt to look at them.
And you know what? For the first time, I knew who, oh, I can't remember the name of that, right? The column writer. It's the gossip column writer.
Yeah.
Can't think of the name, but I knew
Miss-
who it was long before I think even Heather.
Oh, so you knew the secret identity already.
I did, yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Didn't take me long. Yeah, I would recommend that.
Yeah, I would too. It's fun. It's fun.
It is.
Have you guys watched the Small Axe films yet?
Small acts?
Oh,
Like,
no, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that yet.
I heard that Lovers Rock is like one of the
Oh,
greatest things you'll
right.
watch this year.
right. That's
I
on
gotta
Netflix,
watch that.
right? That
Yeah.
Netflix?
And
Yeah.
I heard Lovers Rock. People say it's one of the greatest celebrations of music you'll ever watch.
And then there was another show. Shoot. This is scary because Lou, when we first started redoing this show, Lou would always remember everything. And now he's saying, what's his name? And Pat and I could always rely on you, Lou, to come up with the names quickly. And now we're all on our computers going, yeah.
Yeah.
But we were watching something else too that was, and I rewatched, I can never remember the name of this one. Work in Progress, the Abby McEnany one she's from Chicago. Loved it just as much the second time with Julia Sweeney. Remember we were like, and Weird Al Yankovic is her husband, right? Well,
right.
he is in this show, but he's not in real life, which is kind of odd. But Julia Sweeney plays a huge role in this character's life, which I suspect is kind of like Marin's show. It's loosely based on her, actually.
Yeah. She's had a tough life in some ways.
Abby? Or
Julia Sweeney.
Well, see, Abby's used to get called Pat from It's Pat.
Oh,
and
wow.
in one of the first, she's out on a date, and Julia Sweeney's in this bar, and her date confronts Julia Sweeney because of the character Pat, and so I'm not giving anything away, but this show's got some real darkness too to the character. I like it because she's brave enough to write herself as having some pretty major kind of flaws.
That's excellent.
Yeah, but I think that's on Showtime too. It was on something else.
Did you guys like Tig Notaro's show?
I did. I loved it.
I like that a lot.
One Mississippi.
I like her.
One Mississippi. That's it.
Yeah, but that's a rough first episode to get through, so I didn't go back to it. But I like her a lot.
Yeah, no, you'll like it. Give it another shot.
Yeah, I will.
Good show.
Yeah, one of these days.
One of these days. Well, okay, gentlemen, I better wrap things up.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you. I always write down a bunch of stuff whenever I'm with you. Whenever I'm with you guys, I always write down a bunch of great stuff to watch.
Oh, my dogs are saying,
well,
get out of here.
It's when we talk about our dogs of the week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, that's right.
We're gonna get
Okay,
sued.
real quick then. What's the worst thing you've seen recently?
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna have to say so far it's Pipe Dreams, the Gladys Knight thing.
Yeah.
Well, because of TCM, I did turn on the Swarm and made it in about 10 minutes in. So it's the Swarm.
I went back and watched. I had this desire to watch some old 1980s horror, and I went back and watched Rawhead Rex, and
I've never heard of it.
Kind of fun, yeah. Oh no, but I repressed it. There was one I watched before that. I made Tressa watch it with me, and it was actually worse.
Oh.
At least Rawhead Rex was campy enough that it was something there I could grab onto. What was that movie I made her watch? I can't think of it. I've repressed it.
Next
80s horror film.
Next episode.
Yeah, I'll think about it. But it was really bad. It was but I can't think of what it was. I don't know. But don't watch Rawhead Rex either. But it's fun if you can get it for free and kind of make fun of it.
Okay. I'm looking forward to Supernova. I'm hoping that comes on to a video on demand soon. I don't think it comes even out until like March 15th or something like that.
I hope I can see Dune in the theater. Just hold it. Just hold it. Don't put it on
Yeah.
TV. Just wait. Just wait. I'll wait till October to watch it. I don't give a damn. I just want to see it
I
on
don't
big
know
screen.
if this came up on the last show or not, because it reminds me with Timothy Chalamet, who I frankly don't like, but I saw Rainy Day in New York, Woody Allen's latest movie, and it was really enjoyable. And Timothy Chalamet, I thought was good in it.
I thought he was great in Little Women.
Little Women. We just rewatched that. Oh, I know a bad movie. I can say the worst thing I've seen. Wonder Woman 2.
Oh, disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Yeah.
Awful, boring, offensive. Lay it on. You know, I mean, just
That's
like
too
every
bad.
possible, just badly written. I mean, just it was awful movie.
Well, maybe with the new Godzilla's, the third one will be the charm.
I hope so.
I'm rooting for him because they were already slated. They've already bankrolled that one, the third one.
Yeah, well, that one still made money in some ways, at least in a little bit, at least. But a lot of people watched it, at least. But God, it was bad. I really liked the first one a lot.
All right.
Yeah, no, the first one was really good.
Let's see how many more Bob's Burgers I can get through before the next time. You know what? I just put it on when I need something to make me happy.
Oh, it does. It makes me so happy.
It's
It makes
beautiful.
me so happy. Favorite
Yep.
episode? Favorite episodes so far, George, of Bob's Burgers? I always ask you that to see if they come up any new ones.
And I always think while I'm watching it, I'm gonna have to remember this one to tell Pat, and I can't remember. Boy, what was the one where Bob had to go to Fish Odors? They had it must have been a Christmas episode because they were making
Yes.
gingerbread houses.
It's called Last Gingerbread House on the Left.
Yeah,
That is a great episode. That is a great episode. Great episode.
just anything where Teddy, it's always like when the kids are on their own, like they come across Teddy. Like Teddy just happens to be walking through the frame or something, and they're like, "There's Teddy."
I just love Teddy. I love Teddy.
I love Teddy so much.
Whenever I can listen, I've said this before on the show before, but I can listen to Teddy and Bob argue with each other for like an hour, and I will be laughing that entire hour.
No, you don't. You don't. No, you're not laughing. I mean,
yeah. Well, no, what? I can't do Teddy's voice, but anytime Bob just goes, "Oh no, it's not true." No, I've said that before too, but I'm sorry. My favorite is still the Valentine's Day episode where they're with all the different storylines. That's probably still my favorite.
Because we did that in our high school, and I thought even then I was like, this is awful. Where you buy the thing ahead of time and then they're passed out, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. It was flour or something.
Yeah, that's a great episode though. But
in our high school, it was a carnation.
Yeah, they used to do that at our school too.
And I got like one usually from somebody that didn't sign their name.
Did you guys have to make in elementary school on Valentine's Day, make the shoebox for kids to put your Valentine's Day in?
No.
Yeah, in elementary school, yeah.
Yeah, we had to decorate a shoebox with a slit in the top, and then you had to walk around and deliver all your Valentines to all the other classmates.
No, but
I got a rock.
You got a rock. That's Halloween, man.
I know.
Mine were always monster themed.
Right, of course they were. Scared the hell out of the other kids.
I had one with the mummy standing on top of the box. I put my mummy model, and I had it holding a heart. Like I imagined it was a real heart bleeding, but
nice.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Right.
guys, I gotta get going. That's
Look
okay?
for that new theme. We'll probably have a new theme on this show. So
Let's do mod. I'm gonna listen to all the theme songs. I forget off. Okay.
Are you trying to say something, Lou?
No, I'm just pointing.
Okay.
Your thumb's
Yeah,
disappearing.
my thumb keeps disappearing.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Mediadawgs. They're hip and they're cool. They're nobody's fool. They know the story in your town. 'Cause George and Pat and Lou have been around. Mediadawgs, Mediadawgs, alone in your room. You watch us on Zoom. We'll tell you where to find the fun, and the bad times will be on the run. Mediadawgs, Mediadawgs, we're watching those shows. We'll tell you what blows. We watch a lot of movies, it's true, but you know we do it all for you. Mediadawgs, 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 me like Mediadawgs. That was a bad movie. I didn't like that at all. That sucks. Oh yeah, don't watch that. Don't even know if we like it.